SEC is behind all of this, in my opinion, pulling the strings and saying, we're not sure we like this quite as much. So
well, why would you?
And that's one response to it. Like, why would you want them to expand if they have all the control of it right now? Now, some would say that's not great for the sport of college football. But when it comes down to it, the Big Ten and the SEC are the only two conferences that really matter because they have to come to an agreement. Once those two come to an agreement, that's what the expanded playoff format will look like. So until the SEC budges, as much as the Big Ten wants to go to 24, as much as the Big 12 and the ACC and Notre Dame and everyone else, it doesn't matter. And look, there might not be every coach. We already heard about Mario Cristobal saying 24 would be too much. There's some coaches who feel that way, but by and large, it's the majority of every conference, with the exception of the SEC, feels that there should be an expansion to 24. So take that for what it's worth. But that's ultimately, why we are where we are at this juncture.
It's still not going to be good enough. That's the funny thing. Like, there are people that think they're going to benefit from an expanded field, and they're going to get shafted no differently than what they have the entire time. And that's going to be a harsh reality. You cannot appease everyone. You can't win with everyone. Somebody's going to be a loser in this, and that's the bottom line. And 24, you know what? You know why the big conferences are okay with it? Because, again, it's giving more opportunities to get more teams in, which makes your conference more prestigious. It actually could have the transverse reaction on some of these schools that are thinking that, 24 teams, that means we have a chance, guys. No, you don't. That just all it means is that there's going to be more schools from the Big Ten and from the SEC that go into the playoff. And now that conference becomes more attractive, and the teams that aren't at the top become more attractive because you got an opportunity to make it into the playoffs. It's a clear recruiting opportunity and advantage and asset that this could turn into, if that were to be what it turns into. And you would have to assume that's what this will turn into.
Anytime there's something that's voted on, you're going to have somebody who feels like they got slighted. Like it happens with college basketball. I don't know about now. They've got 105 teams that are in now or whatever it is. But with college football, there's always a complaint. If it was, 4 teams that got in, the 5th and 6th teams felt screwed. If it's 12, the 13th and 14th, that's always going to be the case. I just look at it and go, I don't know that it really changes much, because I think you're still going to have the usual suspects at the end of the day that are going to be the best teams in the sport. You'll have some outliers occasionally, and you'll have a team like Indiana who will pop up and, hit big and they'll go on a run. But I still feel like you're going to have the same teams that are going to be near the top of college football's landscape, whether it's 12, 24. I feel like there's a pretty good idea of who's going to be there at the end.
Look, there's a reason why there's traditional blue bloods, but look at, again, other programs that haven't been a part of it, right? Like Indiana has been a part of it. They won a national championship. We couldn't say that 4 years ago. Vanderbilt was knocking on the door for it. So as much as we'd like to say that, I don't know that that's necessarily true. It seems like, and then granted, I'm not necessarily one that believes like we need to be inclusive for the sake of being inclusive in this case. There's 138 Division I men's football programs. So having 24 teams in is what was that? It's like 17%, something like that. So it's not like that's a huge percentage. And I do think if you go to 24, it'll stabilize and stay there for a while. Because how long have we had 68 for? Did we look that up? Like, wasn't that back during the early 2000s or something?
Yeah.
We expanded for the playing games.
Yep.
And it'd been that way for 20 plus years until we just added on an additional 8. So I think if they go to 24, the expansion of the playoffs stops there. And hopefully you find a way of formatting that makes it work. I think the toughest thing about the playoff is we went from 4 to 12. And each year we keep saying, it's not enough. It's not enough. Well, at this case, I look at it and just say 24 would be the stopping point for me. You can't go any more than that, just surely based on the calendar. But more so than that, I don't know that you need to. Like, do we really need to argue for the 25th, 26th best team in the country?
No.
I don't think so.
No. And I also think that there's enough teams out there that realize, you know what? We got no shot at this whole thing, but let's go have fun on Saturday.
Why not?
Let's go drink.
Waste management, baby.
Are you thinking about what's next for you professionally? Whether you're looking to move up, switch fields, or finally finish that degree, University of Maryland Global Campus has your back. Explore more than 135 degrees and certificates to arm you with the skills for today's job market. Affordable, online, and built for working adults. UMGC offers programs that help you build lasting skills in leadership, communication, critical thinking, and more. Apply by June 1st and save with no application fee. So go to umgc.edu.
What's up, fools? Main event Jay Uso here from the WWE. When it's just me between matches, it's day one-ish. And that means it's Chumba time. With hundreds of casino-style games and new titles arriving weekly, there's always something fresh to try at Chumba Casino. The daily boosts make it even more fun. And have me about to get them all during my downtime. Ready for a fun way to chill out and enjoy a few minutes for yourself? Let's Chumba.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See T's and C's. 21 plus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
Your summer travel budget is about to get $1,000 heavier.
No way.
You better start planning and listen weekdays for many chances a day to win bonus bucks.
Hey guys, I'm Lourdes. I'm Hannah, and we're Rowdy Cowgirls from Rowdy Cowboy in Round Rock, Texas. Come see us. We're excited to meet you and get rowdy.
From the Lawrence and Lawrence Traffic Center.
A wreck on 183 northbound at FM 969 moved out of the main lanes and now blocks off the right shoulder, so not causing too much of a time loss this morning. You are stop and go over in Manor on 290 westbound from FM 1100 to FM 973, and a 10-minute out of your drive on the northbound side of I-35 from 45 to William Cannon. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by iHeartAdvertising.com.
Run a business and not thinking about radio? Think again, because people are listening to radio more today than they did 20 years ago. And only iHeartRadio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, even social. Learn how radio can help your business. Call 844-844-iHeart.
Chuck McDowell here with Red Pocket Mobile. How long have you been stuck with the same phone plan? 2 years? 5? 10? Are you tired of surprise fees and confusing bills? Switch to Red Pocket Mobile. With Red Pocket Mobile, premium 5G plans start at just $10 a month. Pick a plan, lock in your rate, and that's the number you'll see on your bill every month. No hidden fees and no long-term contracts. And here's the kicker. Red Pocket lets you choose from 3 major 5G networks, not just one. Pick the network that actually works where you live and where you work. Try one, and if you like it, keep it. If not, switch to another. Never be stuck with a single network again. Plus, keep your phone, keep your number. Red Pocket Mobile, your new ultimate cell carrier.
New customers can switch and save 50%. Choose from all 3 major 5G networks with one locked-in low price and no contracts at redpocket.com. Redpocket.com.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings. In this edition of the Marketers Report, Chris Eppel, head of marketing for the Americas, Harman JBL, weighs in on the importance of audio.
It's been amazing over the last couple of years to see what's happened with audio. We've doubled our investment in the last 2 years in the audio space. We find it to be highly critical to our business.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia connects marketers to the audiences, live conversations, and trusted influencers you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartAdvertising.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Pantalones Organic Tequila. Because tequila is fun. pantalones.
Weezer wants to take you to court. The pickleball court. iHeartRadio has your chance to win a trip to New York. With premium seats to see Weezer live in concert. Plus, you're going to get to play pickleball with Weezer. All thanks to Weezer, Crush Music, and Live Nation. For your chance to win, tap the contest tab and enter while listening to us on iHeartRadio. Back your paddle and prepare to be picked with Weezer and iHeartRadio.
From the Audio Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KDET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Terralambo City, El Paso,
San Antonio, and Silsbee, Texas.
or whatever you may be, wherever you may be listening. This is a Thirsty Thursday edition of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app. Joel Klatt likes what he sees from the Horns and expects them to make a big run. The Cavs went east 99 on 8 Mile. Eric Henry of Horns 247 joins us at 7:34. Coach Jim Schlossnagle, the Texas baseball coach, joins us at 8 a.m. The NFL schedule is leaked, and we have the Thanksgiving Day matchups. And once again, we lost another pioneer in the sports world. I am your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and recognized as the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry.
Good morning, Austin.
And, of course, we've got Marcus behind the boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. Also, if you want to leave us an opinion, and you can use that talkback feature on the new and improved and always free iHeartRadio app. There's a talkback feature. Pull it down, leave the message. If it's good enough, you might hear it on.
If it's good enough.
All right, let's get right into it. Texas football is getting a lot of conversation, and rightfully so. A lot of it had to do with Coach Sark's comments to the USA Today. I got a chance to go on radio in Atlanta, Georgia yesterday, and let's just say folks were not happy with the comments between him and, of course, what Lane Kiffin has been spewing as well. So a lot of people are trying to figure out what's going on.
More words.
But there was some conversation that was had because the news came out yesterday that Texas financially, the Texas Longhorns had an unbelievable haul of donations to the athletic programs. Texas had $164 million donated to the University of Texas athletic programs. Tennessee was second, but they were $50 million behind that, while the rivals Oklahoma and Texas A&M were $70 and $110 respectively. So you start to look at the landscape of college football and athletics for a whole. You look at how much each roster is going for across the nation. And that is why you're starting to see the donations going towards the athletic programs. Look, it's no secret. If you want to be good, you got to spend money. I mean, if other people are spending money and you got to spend money, you're going to have to do it to catch up. And Coach Sark talked about it. He said it's getting out of hand. And some people may say that. Some people may say kids are still not getting enough. And that is neither here nor there. But you start to understand that this is big business and the numbers are going to continue to go up.
It's definitely going to go up because, people want write-offs and they want to win. And it's kind of bragging rights. Look at us. Learjet flying, limousine riding. and I don't see a problem with it. I mean, if I had it, I'd do it too.
Right. And that's what people are saying about this change in college athletics. That's why they believe that there's going to be expansion in the college football playoffs. There's so much that is at stake, but we'll talk a little bit more about the financial windfalls and winning by the University of Texas and what this means for some of the other
hard
sports.
to compete with that top 5.
It's a lot of money that is there, especially when you start to look at the SEC numbers and where the money is spent. But like we said before, the Big Ten's got money too. So we're starting to see
they
that
do.
Because, I mean, look at the last 3 champions. It's come from the Big Ten. It hasn't come from the SEC. So there's a lot to be desired when it comes to championships. It's not all about the money. You got to go out there and win as well. I wanted to talk about this because Joel Klatt, who, Joel used to really love the University of Texas and still does. You can tell by some of the things that he says and some of the things he likes to point out about it. But he's kind of bullish on the Texas Longhorns and the expectations coming into the year. But he believes that there's some things that have to happen. And if they happen, this Texas football team can be finding their way in the SEC championship.
Part of the problem with Texas last year is that everything was on Arch's shoulders. Everyone just thought like, oh, he didn't play well. He actually played fine in the back half of the year. The last 6 games, he was actually excellent. They did not protect him. Texas just couldn't do it last year. Just couldn't do it. It was bad. The running backs' yards per carry last year, just from the running backs, 120th in the country. You can't protect him with your offensive line only if you can't run the football with your running backs. He can't be the one just carrying the run game, obviously. And so the backs have got to do something for Texas. And if they do, if they get back to being able to run the football like Sark normally runs the football, then this is a team that can compete for the SEC title. There's no doubt. Good running game impacts Arch, and it also impacts the defense. It's going to help the transition as Will Muschamp comes in to be the defensive coordinator. Defense was 28th in scoring last year. I thought that they should have been better. They were much better the year before. A run game limits their exposure on the field. So, again, run the football with the backs, that is their biggest question. That's what they've got to get fixed this summer. If they're able to do that, then watch out. Texas could make a run.
Wow. I'm going to tell you right now, he's not the only one that's jumping on the bandwagon. Yesterday, I heard a sportscaster here in Austin say that Texas, the biggest transition is going to be the fact that Texas defense will not be on the field as much. And I didn't even think about it. I mean, if you got a running game and you can keep converting those first downs and your defense is sitting there fresh, and then they got to come on and just clean up, man, can you imagine Colin Simmons being fresh in the fourth quarter? He hadn't had that luxury yet since he's been here. So this could be really, really good for the defense being fresh when they do make their appearances on the field.
Yeah, and the thing, too, when you look at this Texas football team, and we talked about it a little bit yesterday, and you think about what Trey Wisner, C.J. Baxter, and all those different backs that were there, they still didn't get 1,000 yards. So the clock was running. The things were putting the defense back on the field quite often. But the other part of it is, if you can sustain the running game, it changes the whole dynamic of what Coach Sark can do as a play caller, because the play action pass sets up so many things. If you can run it, you can throw and call so many different plays. Even if it is something quick where these guys get a quick hitter. I mean, how many times do we see Ryan Wingo do that flare, catch it on the run, and take it to the house?
Yeah.
Because they blocked it well, but they schemed it well, but everybody was up close because they knew that they were going to stop the run game. There wasn't no threat of the true run game. So it is ironic to me when you start to see how this team is building itself for next year, and other people are starting to see it. They talk about the offensive line, Trevor Gooseby, and what he's going to be able to do. And then you bring in Siani, and now you bring in Seymour, because They're all going to be on campus, and they're going to be working together. So it's going to be an exciting time for this Texas football team.
And Brandon Baker at guard gives you a bigger, better run blocker at that right guard position.
Yep.
And how many times, Hardge, did last year Texas have trouble 3rd down and 1, 3rd down and 3, 4th down and 1, not making conversions? Unless you use Arch, which won't be your first option now. You have guys that can
doesn't have to be for sure.
It doesn't have to be.
Right.
It's a good option though.
Yeah.
As long as you do what?
Yep.
Get down, slide.
Yep.
To the left.
Yep.
So I really do seeing this being a really good offense this year based on the fact that they can run the ball.
Well, and two, you talked about Will Muschamp and what he's been able to do and what he's going to be able to do. But we got to look at what Kyle Flood is going to have to do with that offensive line. This is a new offensive line. You start looking at you got your guys in the middle. You have Connor Robinson. That's going to be great for you. You got Trevor Gooseby on the edge. Knows the offense, knows the timing, knows what needs to happen. You brought in Seymour, another guy that has got a lot of game experience. And you just mentioned Brooks and what they brought, moving him to, Baker, not Brooks, brought him inside, a guy that can be nasty on the inside.
Yeah.
And those are the things that is going to help this team in the trenches. You got to win in the trenches.
It pains me to say this, but I fear Philadelphia 3rd down, 4th down, 1 to 3. I fear them because I know they're going to just put their head down and go right at you. Texas has not been able to do that.
Yeah.
And now they can.
Yep. We're hopeful of that.
Well, that's what they're saying.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people looking at Texas in that light. Coming up next, we got to talk about the NBA. East 99 decided to go 8 Mile on them, and we'll see what ends up happening as this gets a little bit more heat in the NBA playoffs. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on a Thirsty Thursday edition of the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeart Radio app.
It's the Craig Way Show.
It was a snake charmer's performance, and one of the snakes crawled into the trousers of a 57-year-old man, resulting in a bite.
This is nightmare fuel.
It's not uncommon to allow snakes to interact closely with audience members. Why?
Inconceivable! Now they got to tell them to keep their act out of the guest pants.
Is that a cobra up your trouser leg, or are you just happy to see me?
Hang out with Craig on AM 1300 The Zone.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you'll need.
The earlier issue on 183 northbound at FM 969 has been taken care of and all lanes are back open, but on the service road of 183 southbound, watch out for a stalled vehicle in the right lane at Fairfield Drive. And it'll take an extra 15 minutes driving northbound at I-35 this morning. You're slow from 45 up to William Cannon. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is brought to you by Hectra.org.
The places you can go with an Easy Tag, and it's not just toll roads throughout Texas. You get seamless toll travel in Oklahoma, Kansas, Florida, Colorado. Get your Easy Tag at hctra.org.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Voters are listening to the radio, and they're really listening. If you're running for office, radio gets your message heard, not scrolled past. Reach communities everywhere and be on the air in just 48 hours. Go to winwithiheart.com. That's winwithiheart.com.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Estimate based on your neighborhood average and individual results may vary.
When I saw how high my property tax bill was, I was shocked. We couldn't afford this, but I discovered Ownwell. Ownwell reduced my property taxes and saved me over $1,000.
Your property taxes aren't set in stone. They can be protested and they can be reduced. But instead of filing protests yourself and very possibly losing your appeal, Ownwell does it all for you. And we give you the best chance to win and save big. Ownwell has reduced property taxes for hundreds of thousands of Texans and put money back in their pocket, and you can be one of them. And unlike other companies that take half of whatever you save, Ownwell charges just 25%. And that's only if you save.
Now I don't worry about my property taxes. Ownwell reduces it every year.
Sign up now for free. Don't pay unless you save. Text TAX to 64,000. Text TAX to 64,000. Text TAX to 64,000.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know, our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
Hey, sports fans, Craig Way here. On the field, injuries can take even the best out of the game. But when you're sidelined because of someone's negligence, that's when you call the legal MVP, Dan Christensen.
Thanks, Craig. At DJC Law, we tackle the tough cases so clients can focus on recovery. And that's why we have a 99% win rate.
If you're injured in a wreck, call 512-888-9999. That's 512-888-9999 or teamjustice.com. Principal office, Austin, Texas.
Here's a quick tip from iHeartRadio Earth to help you make eco-smart choices at home. Tired of scrubbing pots and pans after dinner? It can be tempting to run the dishwasher for just a few dishes. But even efficient models use nearly the same energy and water per cycle, whether they're full or not. Save energy, water, and money by waiting until the dishwasher is full before running it. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. For tips or to take action, visit iHeartRadio.com/earth.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. Hook 'em horns.
Segment, we've got our guy Eric Henry of Horns 247 talking all things Texas Longhorns. We'll get his thoughts on the financials of the University of Texas and get his thoughts on all things Texas Longhorn football. Also, at 8 o'clock, we have Texas baseball coach Jim Schlossnagle as they get ready to open up the final homestand of the baseball season. It is that time for Texas baseball to get ready for the postseason, but they got to finish out strong at home. And I guarantee you, he's going to want everybody at the ballpark as they start Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then next week, we'll have SEC tournament time. So we'll see how that all plays out. Well, let's get into it. NBA continues to be fantastic. The playoffs continue to excite a lot of folks. And last night we had some great basketball. Went to overtime between the Cavaliers and the Pistons. The Cavaliers win the game 117-113. James Harden, 30 points. Cade Cunningham, 39.7 boards and 9 assists. Playoff James Harden is starting to show up. We talked a little bit about who he is and what he's been able to do, but he also got some help last night, and this team got Max Strus off the bench to come in and play at an elite level. 8 rebounds off the bench and kept a lot of possessions alive. You can look at Detroit and what they were able to do. Cade Cunningham played 48 minutes. He's going to need an ice bath to recuperate from all of the pounding that he took yesterday. There was a lot of physicality by both of the teams, and the support needs to be there a little bit more. I keep waiting for Asur Thompson to show up, and he hadn't really done much out there. But here's Harden on what the Pistons did defensively to make him get after it.
Just literally how they were guarding us, what was working offensively, and opportunities to be aggressive. Now I struggled a little bit offensively, but that's why he has a team and guys that pick him up. Max came through, made some big shots. Dennis came in, played extremely well. So this is a team effort. You know what I mean? And tonight was one of those nights where we found something and I was aggressive.
That was a team effort. Yeah. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Longhorn Jared Allen did an incredible job of steering people away from coming to the paint. And they forced Detroit to take outside shots, in which Cade Cunningham was the only one that was really stepping up. And, he can get his own shot to an extent, but once they started to double team him and they dared everybody else to do it, I dare you to beat us. They couldn't do it. Tobias Harris, he's a third or fourth option on most teams. And he couldn't get the job done. And then you have the young guy come in that was in the G League. Last year he was playing for the G League team.
You talking about Paul Reed or the son is Jenkins?
Jenkins.
Yeah.
Jenkins did really good though.
Yeah.
But he's an undersized too. And he really couldn't get the job done with that immense pressure of the playoffs on his shoulders. Like I said, he was playing in the G League last year. So Detroit has to do something. Or people are going to have to step up and earn that money they're making.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to make some adjustments quickly. Because
it better be quick.
Because the momentum now has swung to Cleveland. You go on the road and you get a victory. The pressure is definitely on the Detroit Pistons. And they have to, as you mentioned, they have to have balance. And if Cade has got 39 points, you need another person to at least get 25 to be in there with them. Or you got to get Thompson and Duren to score points, both of them.
More than 6 points.
That's what I was about to mention.
He had 6, right?
Sir had 6.
Yeah.
He needs to bring something he needs to be aggressive. He only took 6 shots at that.
What is he, 6'9", 2 guard? His brother is in Houston, right?
Yeah.
Balling.
Yeah.
Balling.
It's funny that y'all say that, but he was positive in his plus minus. So, it's just a matter of
positive 1.
Yeah, still positive. Yeah, because there's a lot of negatives over there in case you wasn't looking at it properly.
Yeah, they did have a lot of negatives.
Yeah, they got a lot of negatives over there. But for him to be in that position, but you also, like I said, it's not – I could care less because he gave you 7 rebounds and 5 assists. He did other things in the game, and he had 4 steals and 3 blocks. The problem is when Duren isn't doing what he's supposed to be doing on the block. He's a guy that's getting that money.
Bingo.
The thing that you're talking about guys that max contracts and things like
Put
that.
it out your mind, Duren.
You got to go out there and play in the space that you are given.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If you own the Detroit Pistons, would you sign Duren to a $225 million contract?
It depends on what I have left. It depends on what you're able to get. That's because that is the part that we gotta start putting in our mind is what is the availabilities of some of the guys that you think that you're gonna end up getting.
He made the All-Star team this year.
Exactly.
And yes, he's a very good defensive player. He's young, he's big, but when it gets down to the short hair, he disappears. The pressure of scoring eludes him. Like you need a big that can score. At least one.
Well, you talked about him a little. You talked about this guy a little bit yesterday, and there were some stories yesterday that were saying that the Detroit Pistons need to go get Giannis. If they can bring in Giannis with this group and possibly put a trade together and move Duran, and you can get the money for Giannis, then that can change this team.
Well, that'll
as well.
fix them.
So,
because Cade Cunningham needs a Batman and Robin. Even if it's not a Batman and Robin, they need the Justice League. They need at least 2 stars.
Right.
And they don't have it. They just have Cade.
Yeah, Cade is a star, and he's earned the rights of many. But to your point, if they got to get through this first. They got to
get through this playoffs before you start thinking about next year.
Exactly. Duran has to do something in this next game that is not 9 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. He's got to be
Giannis going to give you 25, 11.
At least.
But you also got to get something from Harris, too. He can't go on a shooting.
Brother Harris is so long in the tooth. I think he played with Moses.
I agree that you need to get something from Harris, but you wouldn't even be in this position if it wasn't for Harris. It's so funny to me how people forget how great he played in the last 3 games.
He's played good.
It's crazy that he's
no LeBron James though. He's be an older player. He's not scoring 20 points and giving you 6 and 6 or 7 and 7.
Right.
With 1 and 1 on defense. He's not doing that.
The only problem that Harris had last night was he didn't hit his threes.
Yeah.
Any other night, he's crushing people. I mean, go back and look at the series and what he's been able to do in every single game in this series. He's averaging 13 points. He was right at his number. He was right at where he needed to be. So when he pops you for 20 and pops you for 25, then you're like, oh.
Okay.
Last 3 games, he had 16, 21, and 21. In the first game of this playoffs, he had 20. So, yeah, he was off of his average, but he was at his average of who he is.
His real average.
Exactly. So we forget how quick those numbers change in a short period of time. And, of course, Duncan Robinson did not play last night either.
That's
because he had a back problem.
Mm-hmm.
And you still went to overtime with a team that played really good. They had James Harden. They had Donovan Mitchell.
And you lost 17 points.
Yeah. So that's why I say it is important for them to lock in for this matchup. They got to get one. And the series is now real because they won on the visitors' home floor. They went on the road. Cleveland went on the road and did their thing. So now you got to see if they can come back and get this victory.
Go
and it's
home
gonna be
and
tough.
Ball out.
It's going to be real tough for them to figure it out. We'll see what ends up happening in the next game. Coming up next, we're going to talk to our guy, Eric Henry of Horns 247, as he breaks down some of the schedule, some of the money, and, of course, the thoughts on what Coach Steve Sarkisian said in that report with USA Today. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Your slow spots this morning over on Highway 290 westbound in Maine are an extra 15 minutes going from FM 1100 to FM 973. About a 20-minute add to your commute over on I-35 northbound from 45 up to William Cannon. And you are starting to see some brake taps over on Mopac southbound from Shoreline to 183. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
When the Horns make a big play or score a big run, there's only one way to celebrate. Raise an ice-cold Bud Light. As the official domestic beer of Texas Athletics, Bud Light is part of every home run, every big swing, and every great play. Because when the Horns win, everybody wins. So just remember, grab a Bud Light, and call your friends. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Please enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Milken Center for Advancing the American Dream is celebrating America's 250th One Dream at a Time. Next, Magic Johnson.
I struggle with those who are left behind, those who are poor. We grew up very poor, but my mother would cook and she would take almost half the meal she cooked for 10 kids and made us go take the food that she cooked for us to share with our neighbors. And now that's what I'm all about.
Discover more at mcad.org.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code FUTURE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FUTURE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's FUTURE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Friday, May 15th, the Express take on the Giants AAA affiliate at Dell Diamond. Be one of the first 2,000 fans to score a Texas T-Bone t-shirt presented by Good Stock by Nolan Ryan. Plus, Budweiser Friday fireworks. Tickets at rrexpress.com.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
The Spurs getting set to face the Timberwolves in Game 6 of the West Semis tomorrow night in Minnesota. Spurs lead the series 3-2. Zach Cole drove in the winning run. The walk-off single in the 10th to lift the Astros past the Mariners 4-3 to snap their 4-game skid. The NFL will have a record 9 international games this season, including the Texans taking on the Jags in London, Week 6. I'm Ronza Moss.
This is Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Buyers Barricades.
For traffic control rentals, sales, and 24-hour service, trust Buyers Barricades. From roadway safety to special event traffic planning, they've got Texas covered. Visit buyersbarricades.com and keep Texas roads safe. That's buyersbarricades.com. Visit the site today.
Yacht Rock Radio on iHeartRadio drops anchor and goes commercial-free every weekend. Weekends were made for smooth sailing. Yacht Rock Radio's got the soundtrack. Just sit back, put your feet up, and enjoy. The smoothest soft rock from the 70s and 80s. Open the free iHeart app, search Yacht Rock, and set sail.
iHeartRadio. It's the Craig Way Show with the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Welcome back. Kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app. We are efforting Eric Henry of Horns 247. But one of the conversations that we want to have with him is he wrote an article talking about the SEC conference road games this year that Texas has. And one of the things that I wanted to ask him, and here he is joining us, is our guy Eric Henry of Horns 247, looking like he's trying to go back to college with that UCF. to the group of five. He's taking us back to the group of five.
Hey, that's a Big 12 school, Hardge.
That's right. It's a Big 12 school now. You're right. Thank you for correcting me, brother. Always good to chop it up with you. But I got a question for you. You just wrote an article about ranking some of the toughest SEC road schools that Texas has been on and is headed to. And it's interesting to me because there are some schools that Texas hasn't been to yet. Like this year, they'll go to LSU, they'll go to Tennessee, and obviously Kyle Field, which they've been to. But when you look at these teams, because you get a chance to go to all these different venues, which one do you feel is the loudest and kind of the craziest?
Yeah, first off, good morning. Appreciate y'all having me on. I'll say this. There are two venues that Texas is going to go to this year that I think certainly will challenge as being the loudest, right? That, of course, being Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge and Neyland Stadium in Tennessee, right? Neyland Stadium, I believe, holds something like 109, 110,000 people. Now, this is not with any bias because I didn't grow up a Gator fan, but if you've been to the Swamp, and I think those of Texas fans who went to the Swamp last year, and universally, if you ask a lot of the people on the beat who have covered, Big 12 and all the places Texas has been, but of course never made a trip to the Swamp like they did this last year, they'll tell you that is one of the loudest venues in college football, really in all of sports. I think, one of the things, Hardge and Mark, is the ability of the fans there to, A, the decibel level is really loud, but B, they sustain noise throughout the game in a way that's very impressive. So that is certainly one. I think in terms of all of college football, you're not going to find very many louder places than the Swamp, Ben Hill Griffin Stadium.
What about Death Valley? I mean, they always say that a night game at LSU is one of the hardest games to play.
Yeah, no, I mean, Mark, that's why I said LSU certainly, along with Tennessee, is going to be up there with your Florida's, Georgia, really quietly, guys. Mississippi State last year was one of the rowdiest environments I've ever been in, especially because they got those cowbells, Mark. They just ring those things, and I don't want to shade any of the folks there in Mississippi, but I think that was what a one kickoff or something like that. They had no problem drinking at 8 a.m. All right, to get themselves lathered up to get loud. So Mississippi State, the folks had no issues getting riled up. But to your point, Mark, yes, Death Valley, and remember, there's two, right? Those folks at Clemson will say that their Death Valley is just as loud as LSU, but no, LSU at night, and that's going to be a night game with Lane Kiffin who can't stop talking about what's new. That's going to be a night game there.
Can you elaborate on that? What's new?
With Lane, yeah. Martin Luther Kiffin himself, yeah. I mean, there's nothing new about that.
Yeah. And let's get into it because I wanted to talk a little bit because of the news that came out, the article of Coach Steve Sarkisian talking to the reporter, I think his name is Matt Hayes of USA Today. And, he just went, I think he went a little too far on one subject, but other stuff I'm fine with. When he wants to talk about the college football playoffs and he wants to talk about the expansion and how we don't need to do certain things in the NIL, I'm cool with that because we've had that conversation with him before. But when he went and took a jab at Ole Miss, regardless of if Ole Miss was talking bad about him or on recruiting negatively and all the different things, I was always taught don't swing down. And right now, you're in a position to not run the table, but put yourself in a conversation of the tops at the SEC. Let's not always talk about what's going on in somebody else's house or backyard. Let's focus on the things that are going on in ours. And that is something that I was kind of questioning when he went to that level. What were your thoughts on the article and, of course, that part of the conversation?
Yeah, no, I mean, Hardge, I agree with you in a lot of sense. The comments that Steve made about kind of the wide-ranging state of college football, they're not new to us, right? Because those of us in Austin, we've heard Steve Sarkisian say that, plenty of times. I think now when you put it to Matt Hayes of USA Today and it's a broader audience, then all of a sudden it kind of makes news in a way that maybe doesn't hear. I'm going to take a perspective on the comment you're referring to about him talking about, you can get a basket weaving degree at Ole Miss. And this might not be popular, but hey, you guys don't bring me on to say what I feel, right? You guys don't bring me on to say what I think is going to be popular. First off, I disagree. I don't know why Steve chose to, and to be clear, he's been consistent about, hey, if you come to the University of Texas, you're going to have to go to class, right?
Very much so.
And in context, the point he was making, the point I believe he was trying to make, which is, hey, there are certain classes that you may be able to take at previous schools if you're going to transfer to Texas. They may not all carry over here because of the academic standards, right? Maybe at other schools. And I don't necessarily know why he chose to single out Ole Miss when it comes out in a second. But at other schools, those may carry over. Fair. I think that's a little oversimplifying the transfer process, but that's fair, right? But this is the point I'm going to make that I don't think is going to be popular. Guys, Mark, Hardge, we know why Lane Kiffin made the comment he made about, grandparents of black kids telling them, hey, I don't want to go to Ole Miss. I want you going to Ole Miss. We know why Lane made that comment, right? It wasn't just to throw a jab at his old employer. It's to try to get an edge in recruiting, right? Because that's why he said, in Baton Rouge, you don't have that problem here, which again, if you want to, there's a lot of room for debate between
a lot of room for debate, bro,
with that subject. But he made that point to try to get an edge in recruiting. I didn't like Steve Sarkisian downing Ole Miss because A, there was no reason, as you said, Hardge, to punch, quote unquote, down. But B, doesn't that just show the pressure that these coaches are under to win? That nothing is off limits, right? You got to try and find a way to take a jab at another school to get an edge in recruiting. And the final point I'll make, Pete Golding, right? It was alleged in Seth Wickersham's book that detailed Arch Manning's recruitment that Pete Golding took a swipe at Steve Sarkisian's sobriety, right? Why? Because he's trying to recruit Arch Manning, and you need an edge. Isn't that embarrassing? Isn't that an indictment on kind of where we're at and
that's
the pressure?
That's why Steve said it, though. Many times in my life, I've said stuff to hurt your feelings, not because it was true, but because I wanted you to feel some pain. And Steve is a man first, and you sometimes you just say stuff because it may not even be true, but you like, no, you're gonna feel some pain too. Get off my back. And they need to get off his back. Like if we allow people to, if he allows people to keep on saying stuff, they'll keep saying it. So I think sometimes you need a little clap back.
Mark, I can't pretend to know if that was a motivation for Steve Sarkisian. I believe it was rooted in recruiting and kind of the pressure that all these coaches are under to try and find an edge with recruits. However, the reason why and I'm not disagreeing with you, Mark, but the reason I'm hesitant is because Steve hasn't taken the bait over the past 4 years in a variety of other subjects, right? The only time I've ever seen Steve Sarkisian truly show something got under his skin was the Diana Rossini report with the Athletic when it was reported that he had interest in the Tennessee job, right? And he came out and came out swinging in that post game at Mississippi State. Outside of that, I've never seen anything get under his skin in that realm. So only he knows his intentions. And to your point, Mark, sure, we're all human. We're only human beings, right? If someone is going to stoop to that level, I can understand, taking that clap back. But just for me, the bigger picture, I understand there's pressure to get recruits. And I understand these are multi-million-dollar jobs and you try to do anything you can to hang on to them. But I just think we're at a point where we got to dial that back a little bit because we're just throwing anything out there to see what sticks. And granted, this is nothing new, right? Coaches have been doing the all types of things. Hard, you know this, did all types of things about schools to recruit for years. But I just think it's kind of embarrassing. Not just, I'm not singling out Steve. I'm saying Lane Kiffin, Pete Golding, that we're willing to go to these lengths in the name of recruiting. I think sell your product, right? And I think that's what Steve Sarkisian has done best. Is pointed to the NFL draft and said, hey, we're going to get 10, 11, 12 players drafted. And you're going to play for UT and you're going to get the degree.
Well, another part, too, is all those dudes used to work together. So I'm sure that they've had some nights together. And that is why it's kind of funny to me that somebody will cast a stone. Like I said yesterday, and I'm going to continue to say it, be careful who you're throwing them stones at because some people might be throwing them back at you and they hurt a little bit harder than some of those other things too. So as always, brother, we appreciate you taking the time and shedding some light on that. And we'll continue to send people over to Horns 247 and check out my boy, Eric C. Henry on social media. See you later, UCF. I see you repping. I see you, brother.
I had to grab a jacket, man. I wasn't gonna come out here flexing like Mark with no shirt. I had to grab a jacket. That's all, man.
What? That's my dog. That's my dog. Appreciate you, brother.
All right.
There he is, Eric Henry of Horns 247. Coming up next, we're going to continue the conversation. An NBA move was made, and that means he ain't coming back. We'll talk about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone, and always free on that iHeartRadio app.
Hey, baseball fans. Catch the Round Rock Express right here on 1300 The Zone. All the action and excitement from the ballpark. Don't miss a pitch. It's Round Rock Express Baseball, only on 1300 The Zone.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Your slow spots this morning over on Highway 290 westbound in Manor, an extra 15 minutes going from FM 1100 to FM 973. About a 20-minute add to your commute over on I-35 northbound from 45 up to William Cannon. And you are starting to see some brake taps over on Mopac southbound from Shoreline to 183. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
No matter what your view and pleasure is, Rowdy Cowboy has it for you. Hockey, basketball, playoffs, baseball, golf, auto racing. It's all worth watching on one of the 70 big screen TVs. The area's newest, best sports bar is Rowdy Cowboy. But the best view at the Rowdy Cowboy is the Rowdy Cowgirl, bringing top-notch food and beverages to your table, just like you like. You won't want to miss the Rowdy Cowgirls. For Rowdy Cowboy in Round Rock on the east side of I-35, just north of the 45 Loop.
This ain't pop. This ain't pretty. This is Southern hospitality. The Black Crows, Whiskey Myers, blues-soaked guitars, outlaw swagger. Rock and roll the way it was meant to be. Loud, raw, and real. The Southern Hospitality Tour. The Black Crows, Whiskey Myers. May 17th, Nudity Center. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
50 years in the Lone Star State. A one-stop shop so you're never late. Price is so low that you want to know
which way to Specs.
Come on, let's go.
Specs, wine, spirits, and finer foods. World-class service, that's all about you.
Shout Specs it's how we do. A huge selection since 62. Shop specs, low price, amazing. Here's to you. Cheers to savings.
If you care about predictions, you care about props. And right now, it's all about playoff pressure. From the hardwood to the ice, every possession, every shift, every shot matters. BetOnline has always been the home of real sports betting, with the freedom to play on your terms. Backed with better odds, real rewards, and faster payouts. With the basketball and hockey playoffs heating up, BetOnline delivers live in-game action and the best odds that move with every bucket, every breakaway, every goal. BetOnline. Bet on.
Pantalones Organic Tequila. Because tequila is fun. Pantalones.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KDET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app.
That red talkback mic on the free iHeart app could win you something amazing.
The iHeart Awards in LA.
Plus, it's the fastest way to get your voice on your favorite station.
Thanks, guys. Love you.
I love you guys. Have a good day.
Try the talkback mic now. Just open the free iHeartRadio app.
Wake up with Hardge and Henry in the morning kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
Back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app. Coming up in the next segment, we'll be talking to Texas baseball coach Jim Schlossnagle as they start the final home series of the regular season, as they will be taking on Missouri tonight, and you can hear the game on 103.1 FM. I wanted to talk about this because Dalen Swain was talking the other day. He had an interview, and everything looks to be that he is remaining in the NBA draft. So the thought of him possibly coming back says, nah, and here's Dalen Swain talking after his combine workout.
Dalen, so many front offices and decision makers here. What are you hoping to show them today?
Honestly, just being able to play team ball, play together with players from all across the country, just building chemistry in one day. We all met each other today, but I think we're playing pretty good and showing that off well.
Your athleticism was always on full display at Texas. What parts of your game do you think translate the best to the NBA?
Definitely athleticism, defensive versatility, being able to grab the ball on a defensive rebound, push it up the court, make plays for myself and others.
Best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys.
And the way he's worked out, he has left the message that both feet are in. He is going to the NBA. Right now, he has been mocked as the number 26 pick in the recent NBA draft.
Man, selfishly, I would love for him to come back. But if he can get drafted 23, 26, then, and it's been your life dream to be able to play in the NBA, who am I? Who am I to not want him to fulfill that dream? So I'm happy for him. I hope that he one of these teams sees him and goes, you know what, man, we need that. You know, I know Detroit needs it. You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of teams that need a guy that can score, a guy that can rebound, a guy that can get the ball out in transition. I think he'll be a welcome addition in Philadelphia. You know, like all of these teams that are in the playoffs right now or that have just left the playoffs, there's a reason why they left. And that's not having versatility. And that was one of the things that he said was the best, is the fact that he can guard his defensive versatility. If you can guard 1 through 4, you're valuable.
While his time at the University of Texas, he earned SEC Newcomer of the Year. He led the team in scoring with 17.3, rebounding 7.5, 3.6 assists per game, and 1.6 steals per game as well. We were excited to have him here. He was so athletic, and there were times where I was like, he needs to take over the basketball game. And you know, although it's not official, he hadn't officially said and let Texas know that he is going to stay in the draft, but all signs point to him staying in the draft. But you look at what Texas was able to do in recruiting. You talk about Isaiah Johnson, Mikey Lewis Amari Evans, David Punch,
Freeman.
and Elijah Freeman. And then, of course, you got Matas coming back to the 40 acres. You also have my guy Austin Gooseby, Joe Sterling, Bo Ogden, and Coleman Elkins are all coming on the 40 acres. So I think they kind of knew that he may not be coming back to the program. So they went out and got some guys that they can put into those roles. And I think Texas did one hell of a job.
I think they did too. I also hope that Dylan is one of those guys you talk about like, wow, why didn't he score like this in college? Because I made this point about Darius Acuff.
Are you talking about Dalen?
Dalen
Okay,
Swain.
okay,
But
okay.
I'm saying I made the point about Darius Acuff that in the NBA, you're not going to find zones. And you're going to be able to score and play one-on-one. He's a better one-on-one player. And I think that he'll score more in the NBA than he did in college.
The way he can get to the rim, the way he can move in space is going to be something that's going to play at a high level for him. A lot of times we try to tell people to strike while the iron is hot, and the iron doesn't get any hotter than what it is for Dalen Swain at this time in his career. Could he come back?
Unless he came back and won national championship, player of the year, that kind of thing.
Right, that kind of thing. But there's a lot of players that are out there that are pretty doggone talented. Best of luck to him. It's not official, folks. It's not official, but all signs say I'm in with both feet. So that to me leads me to believe that he is going to the next level. Coming up next, somebody that's trying to take his team to the next level, and that is Texas head baseball coach Jim Schlossnagle. Up next here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app.
Second opinions.
You get them with your health.
So why not with your wealth?
Your stock market investments deserve a second opinion.
At Henyon & Walsh, it only takes a second
to schedule your free second opinion.
Go online and search for Henyon & Walsh, the second opinion people. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Henyon & Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Henyon & Walsh Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Visit CordellCordell.com.
Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis.
Before they can cheer your name, you've got to make one. At Spurs Sports Academy, we're helping young athletes do just that with year-round basketball camps and tournaments for kids of all ages. It's all part of our mission of inspiring lifelong memories and building character through competition. To find your way to play, text HOOPS to 210-444-5021 or head over to spurs.com/sportsacademy.
The playoffs are in full force, and you can trade every game in every series on Kalshi. New York is trading at 11% to win the finals. That means a $100 trade pays out $856 if they win it all. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. That means no house and no odds maker. And as the odds move, you can buy in or out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app, use code CHART to get $10 when you trade 10. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Millions of people move every year for all kinds of reasons. When that time comes, it helps to go with a company you can trust. Penske Truck Rental. Their trucks are clean, newer, well-maintained, and you get free unlimited miles on one-way rentals. And there's no fee if you want to change your reservation. They've got over 2,000 locations and live support around the clock. Penske helps you gain ground like no other company can. Go to PenskeTruckRental.com or download the Penske Truck Rental app.
Skip this.
Tap that red talkback mic on the iHeartRadio app while listening to your favorite station.
You guys rock.
Instant feedback. And the best feature, if you mess up,
Hopefully I'm sending these messages correctly.
do it again. Leave a talkback now on the free iHeartRadio app.
You guys just didn't want it bad enough. That should have been an easy win. What were you doing out there? You got to hustle. You could have made that play if you'd been open.
On the car ride home after the game, when you think you're helping by telling me what I did wrong and what I need to work on, all I hear is that I'm not good enough, that I'm supposed to be perfect, that it's not okay to lose. On the car ride home, all I need to hear is how much you love me and enjoy watching me play. That my worth isn't determined by my performance. That even on my worst day, I am worthy. That you see me learning, growing, and doing my best. And that is enough.
This message presented by the WIAA and the Washington Secondary School Athletic Administrators Association.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KDET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the Morning Kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of the Morning Kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app. It is the final home series of the Texas baseball regular season, and we are joined by our guy, Coach Jim Schlossnagle, the leader of the number 6 ranked Texas Longhorn baseball team, as they host the Missouri Tigers starting tonight, which is kind of another Thursday night game for the squad. Good morning, Coach. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Good morning. Where's your partner?
He's right there waiting on you. He just popped back in on you.
I thought he quit. My bad.
No. I told him he couldn't talk. I told him he couldn't talk baseball today.
Henry's don't quit, Coach. No quitting, Henry.
Well, let's get into it. Last weekend, obviously, you went to Tennessee, lost 2 out of 3, but you did win on Sunday. Didn't go as planned, but Timo Becerra had one heck of a weekend. A-Rod showed some power on the left side of the plate facing lefties. And Hayden LaFew looked like the guy that I wanted to see when he got here from Wake Forest. So there was some positives that happened that weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's always positives. There is no perfect game, and there are always positives when the final result isn't what you want. There's always negative things or things you need to get better at when you win. So, it wasn't a great weekend. It wasn't a great weekend for us on the mound really at all. I thought that, Ruger did a nice job. It was really just one pitch for him that he kind of yanked a changeup that ended up being a grand slam in that little ballpark. It was hit hard, but it was, then he threw really well. The encouraging thing for me with him was his stuff was pretty much back to normal. And so we can get one more good start out of him this week. And then, use him maybe sparingly next week and get him ready for the postseason. That would be awesome. Like you said, LaFew was great. Cody Howard was outstanding. Pretty much every other pitcher. I mean, we gave up runs in 10 consecutive innings. I mean, that would actually be hard to do in batting practice. So sometimes, as you know, sometimes baseball happens. I don't like to just defer to that, but yeah, they beat us up pretty good the first 2 days. But I was proud of the way our guys responded and held on, and LaFew and Sam Cozart, closed it out for us. So we've had a couple days extra rest and excited for this weekend.
Coach, at the beginning of the year, we talked about, the unknown, and y'all have had a really successful season. Did you find out everything you needed to find out about your team?
I think we've learned a lot about our team that we didn't know going into the season. We knew we had talented freshman pitching. We didn't know exactly what the roles were going to be. Remember, Sam Cozart was a starter at one point, and we saw how good he was. And that by the time we got to the Ole Miss series, we knew we were going to need that on the weekend. So I think we learned a lot that way. We certainly learned that Adrian Rodriguez can play shortstop. We learned what great players at Robbins and Tinney and now, Anthony Pack, holy cow, potential, certainly going to be in the conversation for the SEC Freshman of the Year. So, Ruger was going to be, could be a starter. No, Valanis could move pretty seamlessly from the bullpen to be in the rotation. And Luke Harrison might be one of the most consistent pitchers in the SEC, at least at just taking the ball over the course of the whole year. And if we can, we not knock on wood big time, but if we get through this weekend, I don't know that there's another SEC school, maybe Alabama, that had the same three starters, maybe Georgia, but I know for sure there's less than 2 or 3 schools that use the same 3 starters, every weekend. I mean, so just the fact that those guys, Valanis, Luke, and Ruger have taken the ball, as Mike knows in professional baseball, part of the job is just taking the ball, man, just being there for your team, whether you're out there for 3 innings or 9, 7 innings, taking the ball and just being able to show up. Wow, what a trait that is for a team that they're right there when you need them.
Yeah, that is very, very impressive. Until you pointed that out, I didn't even think about it because it happens so rarely in this sport because of some of the things that go on there. We're talking to Coach Jim Schlossnagle of the number 6th ranked Texas baseball team. It is game day, folks, because they play Thursday, Friday, and Saturday against the Missouri Tigers, the final regular season SEC matchup. Texas is tied for second with Texas A&M, so this is a big weekend for seedings heading into the SEC tournament. Coach, I want to touch on something you mentioned just a little bit ago about Anthony Pack Jr., his season. You said at the beginning of the year, hey, I think that this kid is going to be okay. Let's see what he ends up doing. He goes through the season, one of the top hitters in the SEC and on this baseball team. But you also have Grizzly Adams back there, Sam Cozart, coming out of the bullpen. And this is a guy that is making his case for SEC Player of the Year. You have 2 guys that have come into this program and left their mark early in their career.
Yeah, and that's the goal at Texas. Those are really hard to find, but we need at least 1 or 2 or 3, preferably freshmen, to come in each year, and you stack those on top of each other. And before you know it, you have a couple in each class, and that's the core of your team. And then you build around that, whether it be with the portal or other developmental players. So yeah, Sam's been awesome. Just again, his consistency of being a strike thrower. If the public could see what a mature, consistent human that he is, certainly going to be a very, very top of the line leader in this program. And he is really benefiting from getting to watch Luke, Ruger, Thomas Burns, Max Grubbs, from a pitching staff standpoint, kind of watch those guys, how they lead. And I truly believe Sam's going to step right into that in his sophomore year when those guys are gone, assuming Burns is signing. So, he's been a godsend for sure, because I've never, all the best teams that I've coached that win championships or play deep into a postseason, they have that one guy at the end of the game that the other team has to plan for and manage. And for me, it's always obviously comforting to hand him the ball anytime, but especially with the lead and trying to get those last 3 to 6 outs.
Coach, once again, at the end of the season, people take their dings and they say you can't make the club in the tub. How's the health of the team?
I think we we're some guys are. There's always something with somebody, but I think obviously Mendoza that was a body blow. I mean that was tough to see him laying on the field in Tennessee in the first inning. the series. And so he same injury to his shoulder that he had last year. Didn't get it as bad. He's certainly able to hit, so he'll be in there in the lineup. He's going to try to play catch in the next couple days, so maybe we can get him back on the field potentially, depending on how how long we play. Rodriguez, I think, is feeling a little bit better. Pack is back 100%. We have a couple pitchers that aren't feeling awesome. Max Grubbs is one. We're going to sit out this weekend and see what happens. But everybody else, I think, is in pretty decent shape. And it is what it is this time of year. You won't find too many players that have played this long that don't have something. Yeah, it's part of it.
Yep. Coach, I wanted to ask you about Pendergrass. How is he coming along? He is somebody that can help in the outfield. I know you've been playing some musical chairs and having to adjust in certain situations. What is the latest on Mr. Pendergrass?
Yeah, I mean, we knew there was going to be musical chairs when Jonah went down, and like we've talked about when we lost those two guys in the draft late last summer. So Pendergrass is in a pretty good spot. I don't know how many days in a row he can play, but he can certainly help us. He can certainly get on the field. Probably will be in there tonight against a great right-handed starter. But we'll just see how he handles the workload of being on the field. And we certainly don't want to lose him again, because whether he's starting or whether he's coming in to run bases or whether he's coming in for defense, he has a real role that we've really missed really all season.
Right.
Because we signed him in one of those very few players that was available in the middle of the year in December. The guy hit 290, in a decent league, stole 45 bases, kind of knows who he is, which is really, he knows how to play that game. And so maybe we'll get the best version of him, here the last month and a half of the season.
Before we let you go, I wanted to ask you too. I know you're going to tell everybody to get to the ballpark, so make sure y'all get to the ballpark Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But your rotation is going to be the same, I assume, going into the weekend. Volantis, is Ruger going back to Friday, or is he going to stay on Saturday and Luke go on Friday?
Luke will go on Friday, Ruger on Saturday. We won't move them up, and they already have 1 day's less rest than last week, so we'll leave it the same. And then get through the weekend and go to Hoover and see what kind of run we can have down there and massage our pitching the best so they're ready to go for the NCAA tournament.
And tell us anything that we need to know about the Missouri Tigers as they come in Ishfaque this weekend.
Yeah, had a really tough year last year, but they're way better. I mean, they haven't. I know their record looks rough, but they've played a boatload of close games, and it's because they can really pitch. The guy we'll see tonight could be in the rotation for our team, for any team in our league. And then the lefty tomorrow is the same. And then there's two bullpen guys that are superstars. So, we're going to have to, they beat Vanderbilt 2 out of 3 and scored a heck of a lot more runs on Vanderbilt than we did. It's SEC baseball. So we got to play our best to win, and we need everybody out there. We really, truly do. If you can't use your tickets, send them to us or send them to somebody, a Longhorn. Shoot, I don't care if it's a Missouri Tiger fan. Like, this, get bodies in the stadium because especially coming after off last week, it's really important that our players see a great crowd tonight.
No doubt about it. As always, man, thank you for taking the time. We appreciate you and look forward to the games tonight. You can hear all the action on 103.1 FM or on the iHeartRadio app. Thanks, Coach.
All right, take care. Hook 'em.
There he is, Coach Jim Schlossnagle, giving us an update on some players and everything else that is going on with this Texas Longhorn baseball team as they get ready to make that push to play in the SEC tournament. Coming up next, the NFL schedules are being released tonight. But guess what? They're always leaking them right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app.
Get ready to cheer on your Round Rock Express right here on on 1300 The Zone. From the first pitch to the final out. Round Rock Express Baseball. Only on 1300 The Zone.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you'll need.
There's a new issue on the northbound side of 130. Reports of an accident before you get to Highway 71, causing about a 5-minute slowdown. Delays start from Elroy. There's also ongoing cleanup for a crash on 183 at FM 973 and an accident off the highway on the frontage road of 290 going westbound at Springdale Road, causing some minor brake taps. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Hardball Hardge here for Covert Chevy Hutto. Trucks go head-to-head to win your trust. Chevy is pulling up strong with $14,000 off a 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 RST. Or get $11,750 off a 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 Custom. Or get $11,750 off of a new 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 Custom Trail Boss. Bigger trucks, bigger savings. Come see us at Highway 79 in Hutto or shop online at covertchevyhutto.com.
Stay connected to Texas athletics and the 40 acres with the LHN app. Watch original content, behind-the-scenes access, interviews, press conferences, highlights, classic Longhorn moments, and select live events. It's your home for Texas athletics content all year long. And with new stories and features dropping all the time, there's always something new to discover. Best of all, the LHN app is free to download and watch. Download the LHN app today and take Texas athletics with you wherever you go. Hook 'em.
With iHeart, everything you hear is guaranteed human. That's why 78% of listeners trust their favorite radio host's product recommendations. If you manage a business or need to drive sales, that trust goes a long way. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. Again, that's iHeartAdvertising.com.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Let me get personal here. Have you ever wiped with a piece of dry single-ply toilet paper and wondered, is this as good as it gets? Well, it's not. It gets a lot better than that. Right, Todd? Wouldn't you say that Dude Wipes gets a whole lot better?
Much better.
Thank you. So no matter the size of your mess from top to bottom, Dudes has you covered, confidently covered. They comfortably clean up what TP leaves behind for no more maintenance wipes. No way. Irritation, not a chance. Time to make the trade of the season and switch from toilet paper to wet, extra large Dude Wipes and start experiencing the confident clean of Dude Wipes. Made from 99% water and plant-sourced fibers, coming in a variety of scents and sensations like mint chill and shea shea butter to protect your end zone. Join the movement for cleaner movements and live in a skid-free zone. Available at Amazon and major retailers nationwide. Dude Wipes, best clean, hands down.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
The Craig Way Show, weekdays at 2.
stuff by Texas baseball coach Jim Schlossnagle as we are getting ready for countdown to baseball. They play tonight. It's important to understand. And it is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the dish. So making your plans to get out there and get out to avoid as they try to make things happen. They got to finish up strong. First pitch is at 6:30. So stay locked in. Craig Way will be talking about it. He'll be live from the ballpark this afternoon. So you'll hear the Craig Way Show from 2 to 5 p.m. right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app. Well, let's get into it. The NFL continues to make news as they are supposed to drop the NFL football schedule tonight. It's supposed to be a big production, but they continue to leak all of the games. As we talked about yesterday, Thanksgiving is going to be a big day for football, and we got the games. On Thanksgiving Eve, I didn't even know there was such a thing, but Thanksgiving Eve, there will be the Packers at the L.A. Rams. That means we get Wednesday night football. Then Thursday, the Chicago Bears are at the Detroit Lions. The Philadelphia Eagles are at the Dallas Cowboys. And the Thursday night game will be the Buffalo Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs. You start to look at these schedules and the expectations of a lot of these teams. It is something that a lot of folks put on their calendars because they want to know, where am I going? What am I doing? How is this going to end up happening? And, well, now we find it all out. You can start getting ahead of the action. The other part of this is they released the news for the NFL international games as well. San Francisco and the L.A. Rams will kick off week 1. We talked about this. They will be in Melbourne, Australia. That's right. They are playing in Australia September the 10th. The Baltimore Ravens and the Dallas Cowboys will be traveling to Rio de Janeiro, and they will play week 3, September the 27th. The Indianapolis Colts and the Washington Commanders will be playing in London, and that will be week 4. Week 5, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Jacksonville Jaguars will be in London as well. The Houston Texans make that trip to London against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They will be over there in week 6. Week 7, they're going to France. That's right, folks. They're going to France. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the New Orleans Saints will be playing in France. Week 9, November the 8th, they will be playing in Madrid. Madrid, the Cincinnati Bengals and the Atlanta Falcons. Then week 10, they will play in Germany, in Munich. The New England Patriots and the Detroit Lions. Detroit got a couple of international games. That's no good.
Yeah, they traveling this year.
Yeah, Minnesota and the 49ers. 49ers got a game too.
Mm-hmm.
They will be headed to Mexico City, all international games. That is a lot. So that is telling me that with all these international games, the NFL does not care about people's safety. The NFL,
you said they don't care about their safety.
They don't care about it. They don't care about them traveling and being on planes and then having to get out there and go play a football game. That's a lot, man.
Are you saying that because of the travel, or are you saying that because of the fields? Because
both
soccer fields are not football fields.
Exactly, and football fields are not soccer fields.
Right, and it would be hard to play a soccer game on a football field.
Yep.
It's just exactly the opposite for those guys going over there except for London, which they figured it out because the Khan family owns the team and they made the necessary adjustments with the grass,
right,
using the fake grass. But
which is why Jacksonville is always over there.
Right. And but going to Brazil, listen, man, you're gonna have to play a lot of people because falling on that ground is less than an inch thick grass. It's not like the grass that we play on here in America. And they don't have the synthetic. So, like, you just gonna have to suck it up, and wide receivers are gonna be taking chances with their life.
Yeah.
And running backs are gonna be getting drove into pavement, basically.
What type of cleat adjustments do they need to make to be able to play on?
They
those
go to
short
turf cleats, the short turf cleats, because you don't want to anchor and stick your foot in that and it break your ankle or something. So they got to make all these adjustments, man. Like it's weird that the NFL is doing this, and hopefully going forward they make the necessary precautions to put grass fields on these in these stadiums that are complementary to football. And I think that will be the first thing that they did. So we may just be making a hula for nothing, but that would be my first concern.
Well, I listened to Brady Quinn talk about this and how him and LeVar Arrington, they were talking about how you got to bring different kind of spikes. And if people come out, they go out early and they tell you, hey, guys, y'all need to make sure y'all have thicker spikes, longer spikes, then y'all need to make sure you do that. They said that most people are like, I need to go out here and find out for myself. And, well, it doesn't work out well for them. So when guys go out there and they have played on that before, you need to understand that they know what this field is like, and you have to make sure that you get an opportunity to put those on there. So,
Hardge, you're a golfer.
Yeah.
So you have golf shoes.
Mm-hmm.
The fields, sometimes the international fields, because I've been blessed to be able to be on them for rugby games, they feel like a golf green. Like they're soft, but they're not. It's fast. If you put a big cleat in, it's going to sink in, and you're not going to be able to move very fast.
Yeah, you get no grip on that. It's very slick, isn't it?
Well, it's slick to an extent, but it doesn't. The ground is softer, and if you put a long cleat in, like they play with football cleats, then you're gonna stick there. You're gonna stick and break something.
Well, I think what you mentioned a little bit was the fact that they have found a way to be able to make the adjustments on a lot of the turf. They understand it. The same thing is happening now.
I'm hoping so.
The same thing is happening right now with the World Cup that is being played in these football stadiums. They're making sure that they have the right grass in there for those guys to play in there. So I would assume they are doing the same thing for football. I get up every morning every Sunday morning and watch those games, and the turf is going to be a lot better. Over the last few years, I think they've made the adjustment. That's why they keep wanting to travel. That's why they keep doing that, because I'm sure the Players Association has told them the fields are not up to the standards in which we play here to where we can be comfortable. Because if you go over there and you get hurt, that's the league's problem.
Yeah, it is.
You don't want a superstar being hurt because you're trying to go over there and grow the game in those particular moments. So we'll see what ends up happening. But like everything else, you know as well as I do, the NFL is going to find a way to make that money.
Yeah.
And they're going to find a way to get
light turf
done.
cleats.
So we will end up seeing how that all goes down. Coming up next, we've got the world's strongest man bringing you his world's strongest take right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on that iHeart Radio app.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
There's a new issue on the northbound side of 130. Reports of an accident before you get to Highway 71, causing about a 5-minute slowdown. Delays start from Elroy. There's also ongoing cleanup for a crash on 183 at FM 973 and an accident off the highway on the frontage of 290 going westbound at Springdale Road, causing some minor brake taps. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. all your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Estimate based on your neighborhood average and individual results may vary.
When I saw how high my property tax bill was, I was shocked. We couldn't afford this, but I discovered Ownwell. Ownwell reduced my property taxes and saved me over $1,000.
Your property taxes aren't set in stone. They can be protested and they can be reduced. But instead of filing protests yourself and very possibly losing your appeal, Ownwell does it all for you. And we give you the best chance to win and save big. Ownwell has reduced property taxes for hundreds of thousands of Texans and put money back in their pocket, and you can be one of them. And unlike other companies that take half of whatever you save, Ownwell charges just 25%. And that's only if you save.
Now I don't worry about my property taxes. Ownwell reduces it every year.
Sign up now for free. Don't pay unless you save. Text tax to 64,000. Text tax to 64,000. Text tax to 64,000.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code FUTURE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FUTURE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's FUTURE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
It's a sale. Right now, every service needed for your vehicle is on sale at any of the 3 Leaf Johnson Ford locations, Austin, Manor, and Buda. And we're wide open. Tires, brakes, oil changes for only $39.99 with synthetic blend oil, tire rotations, and alignments. You name it. Any of the 3 Central Texas locations have it on sale. Can't come see us? We'll come see you with our mobile van on most services, or we'll come pick it up and bring it back. Go to leafjohnson.com and pick your location and time. You'll love it at Leaf, Austin, Buda, and Manor.
This deer season, John Deere wants to give you the home field advantage. We're bringing you the best offers of the season, whether that's cash off on select new machines or a shot at the ultimate Major League Baseball prize package. Because right now, you can enter for a chance to win an MLB All-Star experience for you and 3 friends, complete with travel and lodging for All-Star Week this July. Deer season is going on now through June 3rd. Visit johndeere.com/deer season to enter and view the offers and complete contest rules. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefit.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin weather and air quality alert day for your Thursday. Sunny to partly cloudy, a high of 92. Mainly cloudy tonight, a low of 68. Friday, cloudy skies, a high of 90.
This report is sponsored by Abacus Plumbing, Air Conditioning, and Electrical.
Clog drain? No problem. Abacus makes it 1, 2, 3 easy. They clear the drain, conduct a video inspection, and include a 123-day clog-free guarantee for just $123. No wonder they say Abacus. You can count on us.
Visit abacusplumbing.com.
Hello, I'm Robert Smigel. I did lots of things. Cartoons on SNL, Conan stuff, Triumph the Insult comic dogs, some movies. But now I'm past my peak. So I'm hosting a podcast, Humor Me with Robert Smigel and Friends. Each week, me and my favorite comedians, writers, and whatnots help regular people just like you, presuming you're regular, who have some project or task that they'd like us to help make funnier.
Search Humor Me on iHeartRadio, America's #1 podcast network, and the Webby Podcast Company of the Year.
Back to Hardge and Henry in the morning kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
You heard him. That's what he do. And what he is going to do is bring you some infotainment. He's WWE Hall of Famer and recognized as the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry with his world's strongest. Take it away, big fella.
Hardge?
Yes.
You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for the world's strongest take by the world's strongest man. Marcus, back then they didn't know me, but now that I'm hot, they all on. Interesting last night. Cleveland and Detroit played the tiebreaker, rubber match. Both of them were 2-2. And there was going to be a winner of the game. And it just so happened that Cleveland was able to pull this out and take a 3-2 lead over the Detroit Pistons. Now, we touched on it earlier, but we didn't get into it. And there was 3 reasons that I think Cleveland was able to pull this out. And 2 of those reasons were actually Detroit. And those 2 reasons were that Jalen Duren, being an all-star, gave him 9 points and 5 rebounds. That's not going to get it done. When you're potentially you're qualified for a potential max contract, $250 million to $225 million. I'm not spending that on a guy giving me 9 points and 5. It's just not good enough. Defensively, stalwart. He's a guy that can hold up against the other best players down low. The second thing is secondary scoring. Now, I was impressed with Dennis Jenkins, but he is a guy that played in the G League. He's young. He's the pressure got to him at the end of the game. When it was the beginning of the game and up into the overtime period, he played fairly well. But once they went in overtime, it was like somebody said, abracadabra, poof, he disappeared. That the weight of the NBA overtime fell upon him. Now, the third reason and the most important reason that Cleveland was able to pull it off is, what did we talk about yesterday? James Harden. James Harden was the reason that Cleveland was able to pull this out, because he didn't fold up like a window shade. He stepped up. He owned the fact that you got a star in Spider Mitchell who said visibly he was tired. I need help. Well, Harden to the rescue. Harden stepped up in the fourth quarter, and then he stepped up in the overtime period, and he was the sole reason that they won that game. Because in the fourth quarter, he had 3 rebounds in overtime. In overtime. At guard, 3 rebounds that converted to points. A 3-pointer by Spider Mitchell, him getting fouled twice, and a steal from Strus that led to a layup by Harden. That's what we've been waiting on, Hardge. And I think that maybe my take is this. The James Harden curse may be over if he can play like that the rest of this playoffs. What say you?
Yeah, we've been waiting on the James Harden curse to be lifted, but James Harden was the one that was controlling the curse.
He was ready to go on vacation.
Yeah, he seemed like he was ready to leave, but then all of a sudden he decided it was time for me to lock back in and do the things that I needed to do to become James Harden once again. He's a talented basketball player. all he needed was more energy and more effort, and that is what he's given. I see him not turning the ball over. He had some questionable turnovers in the fourth quarter. He had some pretty bad ones, but he continued to go out there and play at a high level, and we got a chance to see him get busy. And for me, that is what's going to lift the curse. He does realize I don't have to do it by myself, but if I got somebody to tell me it's time for you to go, that's what you do. And that's what he did.
Yeah, but you remember 2 games ago, Mitchell stepped up and said, we lost this game because I was tired and I need help.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? He spoke up and said it audibly to the announcers.
Yep.
And I said the next day to you, Hardge, do you think he was talking to somebody particularly? And you said, yeah. He was talking to James Harden. Remember this?
Yeah.
And I said, well, maybe James will get the message that it's not time for vacation, even though you're used to that. Spider Mitchell is trying to win.
Yep.
If you can't match his effort and his energy, you're going to have a problem. You told me a couple of months ago, I came in here, I was tired. And you was like, man, you go to bed? And I was like, nah, I ain't sleep much. You said, man, fake it till you make it. You got to get your energy up. We got this, the show's about to start. And I had to kick out. That's what I feel like happened to James Harden. I think he got the message, guys.
I can't say that playoff James Harden curse is over until he's facing elimination, because the issue is in elimination games, that's when James Harden is the problem.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Marcus said, I believe it when I see it. Why you just say that?
Yeah.
Well, the nickname is Elimination Game James. So
that's true.
Until he's in an elimination game, the curse
he
ain't
may
over.
not face one because they're going back to Cleveland.
And he may not face one. That is true.
Dennis Mitchell, he finna go ham at home.
Yep. Yeah.
And he had this, Donovan Mitchell,
Yeah.
he had this game to rest and let Harden cook.
Yeah.
You don't think he ain't going to be fresh when he comes?
This is when he got to put the team on his back.
Yeah. Superman, let's go.
Yeah,
excuse me, Spider-Man.
I was going to say Spider Mitchell. And, for me, watching this team, again, we can talk about James, we can talk about Donovan. I still need Jared Allen to do what Jared Allen's been doing. And that's
if he keep doing it.
Yeah, 16 and 10, doing the double-double and being a force around the rim. That is the thing that I like about what I'm seeing from Jared Allen. He's been posterizing people. He's been running the floor, and he's been handling the middle to nullify your guy Duran in those moments.
And let's not forget what Max Strus did.
Yeah,
Strus did come off the bench.
Strus.
Yeah, he was 6 of 6 from 3.
Yeah, 6 of 8. He finished 6 of 8, but he played well. So, yeah, there's a lot that goes into that. So, we'll see. When we come back, we're going to talk some We're going to talk some PGA as the PGA championships have started. We're going to make our picks. I don't think y'all need to worry about it. I already made the picks. But we're also going to say goodbye to a pioneer in the sports media world. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app.
The road to Omaha runs through Texas. From Austin to the College World Series, Texas baseball chases championship glory.
Swung on it, the ball hit well. Out to left, say goodnight to a grand slam.
Listen to every pitch.
Strike 3 called right on the inside corner.
On 1300 The Zone.
Slam down the left field line. That's a walk-off. Longhorns win it.
Your home for the Horns. Hook 'em.
Your summer travel budget is about to get $1,000 heavier.
No way.
You better start planning and listen weekdays for many chances a day to win bonus bucks.
Hey guys, I'm Lourdes. I'm Hannah, and we're Rowdy Cowgirls from Rowdy Cowboy in Round Rock, Texas. Come see us. We're excited to meet you and get rowdy.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
There's just about a 10-minute backup this morning caused by a wreck on 130 northbound on Highway 71. If you're heading this direction, delays start from Elroy Road. Looking on to 183 for an accident still being worked on at FM 973. And there's a new crash on Bee Cave Road at Barton Creek Boulevard. We've got first responders on the scene. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lorenz & Lorenz Personal Injury Attorneys.
I'm attorney Ted Lorenz. If you've been hurt in a car or truck wreck, Lorenz & Lorenz is here for you. We offer a free consultation and don't get paid until we win your case. Lorenz & Lorenz, we're on top of it. Austin, Texas.
Mark Henry here. Have you tried the food at Rowdy Cowboy yet? Had a cold beverage of your choice? Enjoyed the view at the Rowdy Cowboy? Well, guess what I'm really asking is why are you not at the Rowdy Cowboy right now? The doors are open anytime, and you're welcome to come try out the area's best new sports bar. Rowdy Cowboy and the Rowdy Cowgirl will be waiting on you. 70 big screen TVs and an extensive and delectable menu await you. So saddle up and hit the trail for Rowdy Cowboy in Round Rock on the east side of I-35, just north of the 45 Loop.
Hi, this is Sarah at the Department of Rejected Dreams. If you had a dream rejected, IKEA can make it possible.
I've been dreaming of hosting a big dinner party, but I don't have enough plates.
Oh, that's easy.
Or bowls or cups or chairs.
So you need more everything. Well, IKEA has all your dining needs from dinnerware and utensils to full dining sets.
Wow, everything but the kitchen sink.
Actually, we have those too. Get everything your dream kitchen needs at a price you didn't dream possible. In-store or online at ikea.us/dreamkitchen. Dream the possibilities.
The Milken Center for Advancing the American Dream is celebrating America's 250th One Dream at a Time. Next, Gene Simmons of KISS.
My mother was 14 years of age when our entire family, including my mother, were in concentration camps, Nazi Germany. My mother saw her whole family wiped out. I was born in Israel, and by 8.5 years of age, we came to America. America embraced me as if I was here for generations.
Discover more at mcad.org.
Tired of juggling multiple pay apps? Make splitting lunch or sending a gift simple with Instant Pay from Austin Telco Federal Credit Union. Instant Pay is your all-in-one way to send money. No more guessing if they use Cash App, Venmo, or Zelle. Just send a text right from the ATFCU mobile app, and they can choose where to deposit the funds. It's fast, easy, and free for both you and the recipient, even if they're not an ATFCU member. All you need is an ATFCU checking account and debit card. Visit atfcu.org or stop by one of our 24 area locations. Austin Telco Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This ain't pop. This ain't pretty. This is Southern hospitality. The Black Crows, Whiskey Myers, blues-soaked guitars, outlaw swagger. Rock and roll the way it was meant to be. Loud, raw, and real. The Southern Hospitality Tour. The Black Crows. Whiskey Myers. May 17th, Nudity Center. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com.
For over 25 years, BetOnline has been one of the most trusted names in online casino gaming. From the hottest slots and massive jackpots to all your favorite live table games, blackjack, poker, and more. Whatever your game, BetOnline Casino puts it all right at your fingertips. After your first deposit, unlock exclusive VIP rewards, level up bonuses, and cash boosts. Enjoy the freedom of online gaming where the action moves with you and every moment is yours. BetOnline. Bet on.
In this edition of the Marketer's Report, Giovanni Martinez, Senior Director of Marketing and Innovation for Avocados from Mexico, speaks on audio's reach.
We know how powerful is audio. I mean, with the frequency, the reach that you can generate with that component is something that we always have as an add-on in our campaigns.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia connects marketers to the audiences, live conversations, and trusted influencers you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartAdvertising.com.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Pantalones Organic Tequila. Because tequila is fun. Pantalones.
Longhorns basketball plays here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeart Radio app. What a special day we have had. My man Sam said he's going to put the money on Spieth or Rory. Oh, let's see what ends up happening with that. That's good that you're going to put it on Spieth. I like that. The PGA championships are going on as we speak right now. I'm excited about it because, obviously there's some wagering that is going on out there. Scotty Scheffler is the favorite. Rory McIlroy is number 2. Xander Schauffele, Cameron Young. These are all the outright winners. If you go to DraftKings.com, if you want to do that, if you got a problem, don't do that.
Call 1-800.
You got to do something to switch it up. So we'll see what ends up happening. But I do want to go into this conversation because there's a gentleman that has been a very, very special gentleman to so many people as you grow up in an African-American household. Let's say that. BET started HBCU sports, and I got a chance to grow up with Charlie Neal on my TV every Saturday calling all the HBCU games. And one of the biggest things that I have learned about that is he was always trying to find a way to give back. And I was fortunate enough a few years ago, and I posted this on my Twitter page, X page, whatever you want to call it, on at Hardball Hardge. I posted a picture of me in 2022 getting the opportunity to call the MEAC baseball classic, to the baseball tournament for teams to qualify to get into the NCAA tournament. And I got a chance to do that with Charlie Neal. He was very nice, very professional, and taught me a lot about the industry, being able to do play-by-play and do analyst work. With that, continued my other quest to do a lot of Texas Longhorn baseball games for the SEC Network. Plus, tonight, I will be calling Texas State and Marshall for ESPN and the network, as well, the Sun Belt Conference. So exciting times. And he passed away yesterday, and a lot of people were touched by Charlie Neal and what he was able to do for African-American sports.
It's always good to have a pioneer be honored, because a lot of times when you have efforts like this, they go unnoticed until your untimely demise. And I pray for his family, and I appreciate everything that he did as a man of color. I want to get your flowers while you're alive, but when you don't, that's why you exist, Hardge. Is to be able to give him his.
Yep. So prayers out to his family, to his friends, and everybody that knew him. He also created HBCU Go, that network for them, and that was part of what I was doing with him, to be able to, everybody does streaming, and so you were able to stream your teams out of the HBCUs. So it was pretty cool to be a part of that. Also, as I said, make sure you get a chance to get out to the ball fields this weekend or starting tonight, as Texas baseball will be taking on Missouri. They need this weekend. I know that Coach Schlossnagle was talking about some of the injuries and some of the things that were going on with the team, but also pointing out the fact that this is going to be a not easy weekend, but it's definitely going to be something that was really, really exciting about what this baseball team is trying to do to get to that next level. A lot of guys have stepped up. We talk a lot about what Anthony Pack Jr. has been able to do. We also talked about the fact of what not Anthony Pack Jr., but Cozart was able to do. So there were some things that happened about that makes you wonder what his expectations are moving forward as these things start to happen.
Man, you know what I hope? I hope that everybody gets healthy and that Texas has all of their guns, all the bullets in the gun, because you don't want to go to the tournament and not have all your weapons.
Right.
You know, and that's usually the crux of teams winning, is not either not having enough depth or having the time of your guys on the mound or behind the plate. So let's hope that they all get there.
Also, make sure that you are locked in tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, we'll be live from the Mullet Open, Bucky Godbolt's golf tournament that he does for the kids. And we will be out there. So
bright
we'll be
and early
on location, holding it down. And Marcus, are you able to play that sound now of Charlie?
Yes.
Okay. Play Charlie Neal, take us out.
I was with BET from the very beginning as we broadcast our first sports event. It was September 1980, and it was a football game with South Carolina State taking on Delaware State up in Dover, Delaware. That was the start of historically black colleges and universities getting much needed exposure that they were not getting from the other networks. We also gave viewers a look at future NFL stars like Jerry Rice and future NBA stars like Charles Oakley. I also had a chance to work with some great partners like Jackson State and Pro Football Hall of Famer Lem Barney, and North Carolina Central University and Boston Celtic and NBA great Sam Jones, just to name a few. And you know, one big highlight of every HBCU football game is the Battle of the Bands at halftime, which our viewing audience look forward to each week.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we did. We always wanted to see the Battle of the Bands because we knew we was going to get turned up. Couldn't wait. Could not wait. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the morning kickoff. As always, I want to thank our guy, Eric Henry of Horns 247 for breaking it down. I also want to thank Coach Jim Schlossnagle for giving us an update on his baseball team. Get out to the ballpark, and if you're not able to get out to the ballpark and you got tickets, send him your tickets, and he will get them to the right people so they can get into
You can't get the
ballpark.
Coach Schloss.
Make sure you stay locked in because Dan Patrick is next. Colin Cowherd, followed by the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way, and the Craig Way Show, Bucky and BK. And, of course, we've got Round Rock Express baseball. For Mark Henry, for Marcus, I'm Hardball Hardge. And just remember this, folks, don't believe everything you see because even salt looks like sugar. Peace.
Hi, this is Tom McKay, owner of Audiovisual Consultations. Today's home electronics can be a bit daunting. My company has spent the last 38 years making sure they are not. We carry all major brands of television and stereo equipment at prices you can't find in stores, and you don't have to leave your house. We come to you. I believe in having fun and dreaming big. If you have a dream for your home entertainment, let me know. I can make that dream come true. Anything from theaters to multi-room audio systems, lighting control, computer networks, hell, even golf simulators. We cultivate clients for a lifetime by treating